Am I the asshole for eating healthy food in front of my overweight sister? I, 25 male, have been overweight and out of shape for most of my life. My sister, 27 female, was pretty skinny mostly. Recently she's been dealing with mental health and depression and has been on medication, and she's put on quite a bit of weight. In the last year and a half I've been working out and eating right. No personal trainer or gym membership. I just got an app and only eat a certain amount of calories a day. I enter in all the workouts and the calories have burned, and I've lost and have been losing quite a bit of weight. I was very out of shape and had high blood pressure, heart problems, so I just decided overnight to make a change. I am not one of those people that shoves fitness and healthy eating down everybody's throats. I don't bring up the calories and fat content in things. It's just my own personal lifestyle, and I know how much consistent effort weight loss can take, so I don't judge. I went from 350 pounds to 220. And #X200B. And #X200B. My sister has been trying to lose weight too. I don't see my sister daily as we live in different states now, but when we see our parents we see each other. And for the last year and a half, every time she's seen me I've gotten smaller and smaller. She's happy for me, but lately she seems kind of upset, jealous of it. We were at our parents' a few months ago watching a game, so there was wings, pizza, and beer. I ate a few wings, a slice of pizza, and just periodically snacked on celery and hummus the rest of the night. Her and the rest of the people were eating lots of pizza and wings, and I made no judgment, but she was commenting on how prissy this is. Most recently we were at Applebee's with our parents and she ordered a double cheeseburger, and after her I ordered grilled chicken breast and broccoli. She kinda blew up at the table. She was like, "Okay," and said I'm rubbing my weight loss in everyone's face. I told her that I'm not, and that this is just how I eat now. This became a whole discussion, and she said I probably still crave burgers that I can never eat. I told her that I didn't get this way by never eating burgers. I just eat burgers less and fit it into the diet. She said I was being annoying, and this went on for a while. I just eventually told her that I've never brought up my weight and that only she has, and that I'm not longer going to talk about it if she gets this way. So I just kind of ignored her the rest of the meal and focused on our parents. Later she texted me and said she was being rude, but I was also being rude for always eating healthy food in front of her. I think it's ridiculous. And #X200B. Edit. Tons of people asking about how I lost weight or steps to take. There are tons of calorie apps or apps to log your calories in fitness. I use MyFitnessPal. I get asked this a lot, and it's hard to answer because everyone is different. If I tell you to do exactly what I did, you might not like the results, or it may be something you won't like. The key is to find stuff you like to do consistently. I enjoy walking and riding my bike around. You may hate it. But working out is not the key to weight loss. The key truly is, whatever the amount of calories you naturally burn in a day, you need to eat under that. And that number is different for everyone. Depends on size, gender, genetics, etc. Speak to a nutritionist. But for example, if you have a 2,000 calorie a day body and you eat 3,000 calories a day, you'll gain weight. If you eat 2,000 or a little bit over, you won't lose weight. If you're not into working out, eat like 1,600–1,750 calories and it consistently. No cheat days. Diets work, but they just take a while to see progress, and having a few cheat meals throughout the week ruins it. And #X200B. It doesn't matter what you're eating. Stop looking at pizza and burgers as cheat meals. I eat brownies every day. I just fit it into my calories. If you vow that you will never eat food you love again, you will surely fail. Or you will hold off and then one day splurge and eat a whole pizza because you've been without. Eat that burger, eat that pizza. Just eat less. If you get a burger from somewhere, don't get fries with it. Get apple slices. When I make a burger at home, I eat asparagus with it usually. Greasy burger plus greasy fries is half your day's calories in one meal. If you're really craving pizza, eat a couple of slices and some vegetables or fruit. Don't eat half a pizza and 12 wings and chocolate cake for dessert. This week I've eaten fried chicken, burger, fries, and pizza. Just fit it into our overall calories. Vegetables have way less calories. And #X200B. Also stop continuous snacking throughout the day. Portion out what you will eat. Pour your chips into a bowl and eat only that much. Don't have the family-size bag in your lap because by the end of the night it's empty. I have my snack time once a day and that's it. I get my sweet, brownie, cookie, cake, and my salty. These days it has been skinny popcorn for the low calories and sodium, but it doesn't have to be. Measure out what things are and stick to the calories. Consistently. Not the asshole. She's trying to drag you down with her. Don't let her pressure you into eating badly. Not the asshole. You are allowed to eat, or not eat, whatever you want, and so is your sister. If she thinks that simply ordering the food you want is rubbing it in her face, then that is her own insecurity that she needs to deal with. Coming from someone who has also lost weight with the help of a diet change and a calorie tracker, I know how food preferences can shift once you avoid certain foods for long enough, and I also know the amount of willpower to resist certain cravings for foods you might eat less of, or avoid altogether. Congrats on your health journey so far and for sticking with it. Wow, you are not allowed to eat because of blah blah blah. Your sister has issues which she needs help with addressing. She seems to want you to start eating unhealthier so that will enable her not to change. Not the asshole. This is her own insecurity problem, not yours. Not the asshole. She's jelly. You're not. Show her what you've been doing to lose weight. If she doesn't want to try, then she will see that it's not you, but her. If she doesn't want to listen to reason, let her feel crappy on her own. Am I the asshole for telling my dad I can't stand his gold digger husband? I, 25F. Told my dad I can't stand his gold digger husband and I won't see their new baby. For background, when my twin brother and I were 18 and ready to head off to college, my parents announced they were getting divorced. The divorce was due to my dad being gay. It was a shock and a change, but my brother and I adore my dad, so we learned to cope and move on. No matter what, he would always be our dad and we loved him unconditionally. When we were around 21, he met his husband, Brian. Things changed a lot when he came into the picture. He moved into our childhood home with our dad, got all new furniture and changed every room. They started going on first-class trips to Europe, doing weekends in the Cape and on Fire Island. Dinners at 5-star restaurants. All at Brian's request. My dad owns 2 successful businesses and can afford it. My brother and I couldn't help but feel like Brian was enjoying the perks more than my dad though. The guy's life was one big social media story. He is very close in age to us, a bit older, and we truly felt he was enjoying my dad's money more than him. Every time we mentioned that Brian may be using him, Brian would find out and convince my dad we hate him because we are not over the divorce. He would tell my dad we needed counseling and he would send us tolerance packets so we could, I'm not kidding, learn to deal with the truth. They ended up getting married and my brother and I were furious he still couldn't see it. Brian was as rude as ever and it was hard to visit. So we did less often. Naturally my dad was crushed. He didn't want to choose, but we couldn't watch him anymore. The other night my dad begged my brother and I to go out to dinner with him and Brian. We did, and they excitedly told us they had found a surrogate and were going to have a baby and they want us in the baby's life. To which I replied, are you going to leave this one behind too? Are you going to ignore it? Or is the third time the charm? Brian freaked out and called us classless, ungrateful, pretty much everything he could. We left after he pulled out the waterworks. Brian's friends have gotten our numbers somehow and are calling us the asshole non-stop. So are we? Update. I woke up this morning to a text from someone claiming to be Brian's mom asking to talk. I reached out to my brother to ask and he said he had already spoken to Brian and Dad both separate and together and the 3 of them are mending things. My brother just wants all the craziness to stop because he loves Dad and will love the baby too. He said it was up to me if I wanted to call and they were all leaving the ball in my court. I was hesitant to call this lady, but I work from home today, so if things went south I could say my piece, hang up and move on. I called her and she was actually really nice. She wasn't rude and didn't yell. She said Brian had lost his dad to cancer young, which I knew, and he has trouble connecting with people emotionally sometimes, but he has a kind heart and wants to be close to me and my brother. When I expressed my concerns about the age difference and money, she said when Brian met my dad she also had her reservations due to him being newly out and older. She wondered if her son was just a hookup for him and if my dad was just playing around because he was newly out. She was concerned because my dad is close to her age too. Brain was so in love, she said she couldn't stop the inevitable, so she looked past it and supported them, and she is glad to see the life they built. In total we spent about an hour on the phone, which is more than I talked to my own mom in 2 months. She was extremely sweet. She invited me for coffee with her and Brian and I said I'd let her know. I called my dad and he said he and Brian were ready when I am, so I'm going to meet them later tonight. Will I be best friends with Brian right away? Probably not. I can try to be civil for my dad though. It would be nice to have my dad back and see him happy. Not the asshole. If he thinks he needs to send you tolerance packets and continues to be rude, there's no reason why you can't be open about why you dislike him to your dad. Usually am I the asshole does not approve asymmetrical relationships where one partner has the money and is 30 years older. What gives? Why am I getting the feeling that this is more about having to split inheritance with his husband and child? Info. Other than enjoying your father's money, what has he actually done wrong? Because, so far, your only evidence that he's using your dad for his money is that they go on trips and out to dinner, which are perfectly normal things for a couple to do. You are the asshole. When did your father leave you behind? You went low contact, not him. Am I the asshole for taking my boyfriend to the Taylor Swift concert with me instead of my friend? Just to preface this for people who haven't been involved or in the process of trying to get Taylor Swift tickets, it's been insane. Throwaway account because I'm pretty sure my friend follows this Reddit thread. I, 23M, have been with my boyfriend, 28M, for about 3 years now. I have also been best friends with my friend, let's call her Mimi, 23 female. Since we were 13, we have a lot history and are very good friends. Now back when the tickets for Taylor originally dropped, we did not get a verified fan code, so we weren't able to access the website to purchase tickets. However, Mimi did receive one and she spent the entire day of the drop trying to get tickets for all of us but was unfortunately unable to do so. We were all upset but understood how difficult it was and how hard she tried. We had given up on getting tickets until about last week, where I happened to get insanely lucky on a resale website and was able to snag 2 tickets. I decided to take my partner because I wanted to share this occasion with his, especially since we'd have to be traveling to a different state. When I posted on social media about the tickets and how excited I was, my friend messaged me upset, calling me an asshole for not taking her. She says that she had been trying super hard to get tickets because it would be her first concert and she's literally the biggest fan I know. She called an asshole, saying that I should be taking her instead because my boyfriend isn't really a fan, which is partially true. He's really only listened to her since her newest album dropped because of me. She is saying that I'm essentially picking him over her friendship because I knew how important this was to her. She is now not speaking to me because she thinks it's unfair and she feels like I am choosing him over her. However, I just feel like this is an experience I'd prefer to have with my partner than with my friend. So am I the asshole? Edit. Editing to include the fact that Mimi was not just trying to buy tickets for herself and I. There was 5 people in the group. There is group of 3 of us that have been friends since middle school. My partner and one other friend that we met in college who were close with make up the 5. She was the only one trying to get tickets on Ticketmaster because she was the only one who got a fan code, but it would have been whoever got a code that would have been securing the tickets, not specifically her. As someone stated in a comment, no matter what happened, 3 people would have been left out. Also, another clarification for those who haven't been involved in the Taylor Swift resale situation. When you're buying resale, I worded it wrong originally, it wasn't a website, it was a group. You don't get to pick how many tickets you're purchasing. Someone will just say, hey, I'm selling X amount of tickets to this place on this date, and you buy them if you can. Honestly, like I said, we'd all kind of given up hope we'd get tickets because of how difficult it was, so when I saw the 2 I didn't think twice about purchasing them just because it wasn't 5. Chances of finding 5 together this close to the concert is practically impossible. I do see and understand I probably should have told our friends privately, I was just way too excited and didn't think about it. Also, my boyfriend is a fan. I wouldn't be dragging him there. He would definitely enjoy himself. He just hasn't really listened to her, but when her newest album came out I introduced him to more of her music and we listened to her all the time. He just happens to be a newer fan. So you expected her to get tickets for you but you wouldn't get tickets for her? Sounds like a one-sided friendship, to be honest. You are the asshole. Info. Who is the all of us that Mimi was trying to get tickets for? You are the asshole. Why would you take someone who's not even a fan? You are the asshole for running to social media immediately for clout rather than talking to your best friend about it first. Make a post about it later. Not the asshole. You purchased 2 tickets for an experience, you can enjoy it how you would like. It was nice that she was trying to get tickets for 5, but you are not indebted to spend an overnight trip with her. You were always planning on going with your boyfriend. I'm sure if you could have gotten her a ticket, you would have. Enjoy your concert and overnight experience. Am I the asshole for making my family leave a free vacation? For some backstory, I, 37 male, do not get along with my brother, 42 male. He has a personality that I do not mesh well with, and ever since we were kids he has kept his distance from me. He is this way with everyone in our family. It has always felt like there is a cold sheet of glass between him and everyone else. Like he is there with us but completely inaccessible, and honestly it creeps me out. He does not laugh with us, he does not cry at funerals. He does not share his achievements, and he does not congratulate anyone on theirs, choosing instead to send a card or a gift. Him and I grew up in the same house together, and I don't know a thing about him because we never talked, but somehow he knows what my hobbies are, and for birthdays and Christmas is always able to figure out a good gift. So I feel deeply uncomfortable seeing him in our family gatherings because he very much feels like a stranger who is only there because he pays for things and somehow knows everyone's business but nobody knows theirs. My brother does very well financially, and he makes it his business to plan and execute family trips. He says he does it because it was Mom's dream to see the world before she had her family, but I always felt like it is more about him rubbing his wealth in our faces, and that's just an excuse. Our family was poor growing up, but he was very smart and managed to get a job straight out of college and climbed the corporate ladder extremely quickly. So now he has a ridiculous income that he is always flaunting. He is always offering to pay for something or loaning money to our family members, and it feels to me like he wants to hold the money he offers over people's heads so they can't disagree with him and make them feel obligated to come on these trips. Somehow, nobody but me sees how manipulative this whole situation is. This year he took us to Moldova and my family was very excited, but at arrival I found that instead of getting us a suite with 2 beds so my daughter could be supervised, he was planning to give her a separate room. Without discussing it with me, he decided to try and parent my daughter, and I told him he was hugely overstepping to think he could give my 16-year-old a room of her own, and that I don't know what he was thinking to go over my head like that. He said that he felt like she was old enough and didn't realize it would be a problem, but he didn't apologize, so I told him that I was leaving if he didn't apologize for what he had done. He didn't, so I made my wife and daughter leave with me. My wife and daughter think that I was being selfish and are angry at me for ending their vacation. They don't understand that I was just trying to protect our family from the overreaching arms of my brother. But I feel unsure of it now that time has passed, and I do wish we could have enjoyed the vacation, as these family vacations are usually the only ones we get. So I ask you, Reddit, was I wrong for standing up to my brother? Edit. I realize that none of you are taking my daughter's safety into consideration. A young girl in a foreign country on her own is in no way appropriate. If I'm the A for caring about my daughter, then that's fine, I'll be the A. You are the asshole, and you are very bitter and jealous. How dare your brother buy you thoughtful gifts and pay for you all to go on holidays? And seriously, freaking out because your daughter got her own room at 16? Super controlling and untrusting. I think your brother listens to conversations and pays attention to know what people like when it comes to gift giving. I also don't think he's flaunting his wealth but caring about his family. He probably has some form of Asperger's or autism or something, which is why he doesn't show emotion or see the issue with the room. I also think the only asshole in this situation is you. You are the asshole for the vacation decision and a lot more. YTA. I would appreciate the extra room so me and my so could have sex in an exotic location without a 16-year-old around, but that's just me. You're a jealous aw. You are the asshole.